Hi guys, welcome to Nam Academy channel. Shall we start with the third chapter of the first topic? Yes, that is plant kingdom. Let us move to the kingdom plantae. Important points are first is classification. Artificial system of classification was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. It was based on Androecium structure and on few characteristics. Natural system of classification was proposed by George Bentham and J.D. Hooker. It was based on natural affinities among organisms. It included external as well as internal features. Phylogenetic system of classification was proposed by Hutchinson. It was based on evolutionary relationship between the various organisms. Numerical taxonomy. It was carried out using computers. It was based on all observable characteristics and data processed after assigning number and codes to all the characters. The advantage of this numerical taxonomy is each character gets equal importance and a number of characters can be considered. Cytotaxonomy. It was based on cytological information. It gives importance to the chromosome numbers, structure, and behavior. Chemotaxonomy. It was based on chemical constituents of the plants. Let us see some importance of algae. At least half of the total carbon dioxide fixation on Earth is carried out by them as they contain chlorophyll pigment and carry out photosynthesis. Increase oxygen level in the environment. Many species like Laminaria, Sargassum and many more are used as food. Agar, which is obtained from Gelidium, and Gracilaria is used in ice cream and jellies. Algin obtained from brown algae and carrageen from red algae used commercially. Chlorella and spirulina are unicellular algae. They are rich in protein and used even by space travelers. Algae is divided into three classes. Algae are unicellular like Chlamydomonas, colonial like Olvox, or filamentous like Spirogyra. These are simple, thalloid, autotrophic and occur in water, soil, wood, etc. These help in carbon dioxide fixation by carrying out photosynthesis and have immense economic importance. Chlorophyceae. It is commonly called as green algae. Main pigment is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Cell wall has inner layer of cellulose and outer layer of pectose. This has pyrenoids made up of starch and proteins. Example for the green algae are Chlamydomona, Olvox, Spirogyra. These are the examples of green algae, brown algae and as well as red algae. For green algae, you can see Olvox and Eulothrix, and for brown algae, Laminaria and Fucus. For red algae, Porphyra and Polysiphonia. Yes, Phaeophyta. These are commonly called as brown algae due to the main pigment chlorophyll A, C and fucoxanthin. Cell wall has cellulose and lignin or gelatinous coating of algin. These has mannitol and laminaria as reserve food material. Body is divisible into holdfast, stipe and frond. Example for brown algae are Ictocarpus, Fucus and Laminaria. Rhodophyta. These are commonly called as red algae due to the presence of pigments like chlorophyll A, D and phycoerythrin. These are found on the surface as well as great depths in oceans. Cell wall has cellulose. Reserve food material is Floridian starch. Example for red algae, that is Rhodophyta, is Polysiphonia, Porphyra and Gelidium. This is a small division of algae and their main characteristics. It is very useful to remember. For example, Chlorophyceae belongs to green algae, contains chlorophyll A and B as the major pigments. Starch as the stored food. Cellulose is their cell wall. Uh, fla- 2 to 8 or equal or apical flagellar numbers and position of inner insertions, and they are found in the freshwater, brackish water and salt water. Phaeophytes are commonly called as brown algae. Chlorophyll A, C, fucoxanthin are major pigments. Mannitol and laminaria are the stored food materials. Cell wall contains cellulose and algin. It has two flagellars and unequal lateral position of insertions. It is found in freshwater, brackish water, salt water. Rhodophytes are commonly called as red algae, chlorophyll A, D, phycoerythrin. Floridian starch is the reserved food material. Cellulose, pectin, and polysulfate esters is their cell wall, and they do not have any flagellas. These found in fresh water, some in brackish water, salt water, and in the moist areas. Reproduction in algae. Vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. Asexual reproduction is by flagellated zoospores in Chlorophyceae, biflagellated zoospores in Phaeophyceae, by non-motile spores in Rhodophyceae. Sexual reproduction is by isogamous, anisogamous or oogamous in Chlorophyceae and Phaeophyceae, by non-motile gametes in Rhodophyceae. Bryophytes are commonly called as amphibians of plant kingdom because they live on land but are dependent on water for their sexual reproduction. These occur in damp, humid places. They lack true roots, stem, or leaves. Main plant body in Bryophyte is haploid in structure. Economic importance are food for herbaceous animals. Sphagnum in form of peat is used as fuel and also used for transshipment of living material as it has water holding capacity. These prevent soil erosion. Along with lichens are first colonizers on barren rocks. It is divided into two classes, liverworts and mosses. Liverworts have thalloid body, it is dorsiventral. Example Markensia. Mosses have two stages. They are filamentous protonema stage and leafy stage. Protonema stage contains creeping green branched leaves, and leafy stage have spirally arranged leaves. Example Funaria. Here the structure of bryophytes in that liverworts and mosses. Reproduction in bryophytes. Vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. Asexual reproduction is by gemmae formed in gemma cups. Sexual reproduction is by fusion of antherozoids produced in antheridium and egg cell produced in archegonium. This results in the formation of zygote which develops into a sporophytic structure differentiated into food, seta and capsule. Spores produced in a capsule germinate to form free-living gametophyte. Pteridophytes. The main plant body is sporophyte which is differentiated into true stem and leaves. Leaves may be small, they are microsporophyll as in Selaginella, or they may be large, macrophyll as in ferns. Sporangia having spores are subtended by leaf-like appendages called sporophylls. Sporophylls may be arranged to form strobili or cones. In sporangia, the spore mother cell give rise to spores after meiosis. Spores germinate to form haploid gametophytic structure called prothallus. This prothallus is free-living, small, multicellular and photosynthetic. Prothallus bears antheridia and archegonia, which bear antherozoids and egg cell respectively, which on fertilization form zygote. Zygote produces multicellular well-differentiated sporophyte. The four classes of pteridophytes are Coelopsida, example Coelotum, Lycopsida, Selaginella, Spinopsida, example Equisetum, and Pteropsida, example Pteris. Pteridophytes, commonly called as ferns, have true root stem leaves because they have vascular tissue. These are the examples for pteridophytes: Selaginella, Pteris, Bryopteris, Adiantum, and Equisetum. It is heterospory. Two kinds of spores are produced. One is large macrospore and small microspore. Example Selaginella and Salvinia. Seed habit. The development of zygote into young embryos takes place within the female gametophyte, which is retained on parent sporophyte. This is an important step in evolution and is found in Selaginella and Salvinia among the pteridophytes. Gymnosperms. These have naked seeds as the ovules are not enclosed by any ovary wall and remain exposed. Male cone has microsporophylls which bear microsporangia having microspores which develop into reduced gametophyte called pollen grain. Female cone has megasporophylls which bear megasporangia having megaspores which are enclosed within the megasporangium. Nucellus. One megaspore develops into female gametophyte bearing two or more archegonia. Pollen grains carried in air currents reach ovules. These form pollen tube which reach archegonia and release male gametes which fertilize egg cell and form zygote which produce embryos. Ovules develop into seeds which are not covered. These are examples for Gymnosperms. Class Coniferopsida, Cycadopsida, Zincopsida, Nitopsida. Angiosperms. These are called as flowering plants and have seeds enclosed in fruits. It is divided into two classes: dicotyledons having two cotyledons and monocotyledons having one cotyledon. Smallest angiosperm is Ulfia. Largest tree is eucalyptus tree. It is the life cycle of an angiosperm from zygote to the well-developed sporophyte, which is the main plant body of angiosperm. Stamen has filament and anther. Anthers bear pollen grains. Pollen grains have two male gametes. Pistil has stigma, style, and ovary. Ovary has ovule in which female gametophyte embryo sac develops. Embryo sac has 7 cells and 8 nuclei, 1 egg cell, 2 synergids, 3 antipodals, and 2 polar nuclei which fuse to form secondary nucleus. Pollen grain is carried by wind, water, etc. This reaches to stigma and produces pollen tube which enters embryo sac. Double fertilization. One male gamete fuses with egg cell to form zygote which develops into embryo. Other male gamete fuses with secondary nucleus which form triploid primary endosperm nucleus. It is called as pen. Pen develops into endosperm which nourishes the developing embryo. Ovules develop into seeds and ovaries into fruits. Alternation of generation. Haploid gametophytic and spore-producing sporophytic generation alternate with each other in this process. Haplontic. Gametophytic phase is dominant. Example Chlamydomonas. Diplontic. Sporophytic phase is dominant. Example Angiosperms and Gymnosperms. Haplodiplontic. Intermediate like stage where gametophytic and sporophytic stage partially dominate at different stages. Example, Bryophytes and Pteridophytes. Some exceptions are Ectocarpus, Follisiphonia are haplodiplontic algae. Fucus is diplontic alga. These are the life cycle patterns of first one is haplontic life cycle, second one is diplontic, and third one is haplodiplontic. Now shall we see some MCQs of these important points what we have studied till now? Yes, the first one is which plant kingdom can survive both on land and in water? Option A Tracheophyta, option B Pteridophyta, option C Thallophyta, and option D Bryophyta. Yes, option D Bryophyta. Second one, a plant that has seeds but no flowers and fruits. Option A Bryophyte, option B Gymnosperms, option C mosses, option D Pteridophyte. Option B Gymnosperms. Most primitive vascular plants. Which is the most primitive vascular plants? Option A mosses, B Cycads, option C Kelps, and option D ferns. The right answer is ferns. Ferns, it is commonly called as pteridophytes. Fourth question. Plants that possesses spores and embryo but lack vascular tissue and seeds. Option A Rhodophyta, option B Bryophyta, option C Pteridophyta, and option D Phaeophyta. Option B Bryophyta. Which one is not an exception in angiosperms? Option A double fertilization, B secondary growth, option C presence of vessels, option D autotrophic nutrition. Yes, the answer is autotrophic nutrition. It is not exception because as they have chlorophyll pigment, they carry out photosynthesis and they are not dependent on any other media for the production of their food. Sixth, pteridophytes differ from mosses in option A independent gametophyte, option B dependent gametophyte, option C flagellate antherozoids, option D independent and dominant sporophyte. Option D is the right answer, independent and dominant sporophyte. Angiosperms are the dominant flora because of their option A domestication by man, option B power of adapting in diverse habitats, option C self-pollination property, option D property of producing a large number of seeds. Yes, power of adapting in diverse habitats. Plants reproducing by spores are grouped under option A Bryophytes, option B Sporophytes, option C Cryptogams, option D Thallophytes. Answer is C Cryptogams. Plants having vascular tissue without seeds. Option A Angiosperm, option B Pteridophyte, option C Bryophyte, option D Gymnosperms. Yes, the answer is Pteridophyte. Now the 10th question. The plant group that possesses largest ovule, largest gametes and largest tree. Option A Angiosperms, B Gymnosperms, C Pteridophytes, D Bryophytes. Answer is Gymnosperms. Zygotic meiosis is the characteristic of option A fucus, option B funaria, option C markensia, option D chlamydomonas. The answer is chlamydomonas. Now 12th. Pick the mismatched pair. Option A Cycas dioecious, option B Equisetum homosporus, option C Salvinia heterosporus, option D Pinus dioecious. Pinus dioecious is a mismatched pair. A colonial alga is option A Olvox, option B Chlorella, option C Eulothrix, option D Spirogyra. Olvox. Olvox is the colonial alga. Double fertilization is the characteristic of option A algae, option B gymnosperms, option C fungi, option D angiosperms. D angiosperms. Conifers can tolerate extreme environments because of their option A presence of vessels, option B thick cuticle, option C superficial stomata, option D broad hardy leaves. Yes, because of the thick cuticle. First plants to inhabit land. Option A angiosperms, B bryophytes, C gymnosperms, D pteridophytes. Yes, the answer is bryophytes. 17th. Agar is commercially obtained from option A blue green algae, B red algae, C brown algae, D green algae. Red algae. Which one differs from Spirogyra based on its nucleus? Option A azygospore, B zygospore, option C echinate, option D aplanospore. Zygospore. The cell wall of Spirogyra contains option A cellulose, option B chitin, option C lignin, option D suberin. Yes, it contains cellulose. Which of the following completely lacks cell wall? Option A blue-green algae, option B Saccharomyces, option C sea fan, option D cyanobacteria. Yes, option C sea fan. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like and share our YouTube channel, that is Num Academy.